Walking back to my hotel after my dinner at Fiore the summer before, I had passed a new place on the other side of Via Savona. A brief look into the inner courtyard and the kitchen, and one glance at the menu told me this was a must on my next trip to Milan. With 1 day's notice, I was just able to get a table reservation, and I made sure I arrived hungry. I love menus where the challenge is narrowing the various enticing choices down to what I can actually eat. A few moments after I had cast my vote, an amuse-bouche arrived, a little glass of a vegetable cream with a beet sauce. Here it looks a bit like a dubious culture in a lab, but it tasted very nice. Staying with pureed vegetables, my antipasto was a chilled cream of pea soup, along with a mound of homemade buffalo stracciatella, plus olives, dried tomatoes, and peas garnishing all. Once again, the optimum starter for a hot evening. Shortly before my primo arrived, the sommelier appeared with a different wine from what my waiter had recommended. "Ha sbagliato," said the sommelier. He made a mistake. From that point on, he took over the wine pairings. The first was a Pinot Grigio from Ca di Frara in the Oltrepo Pavese. He assured me this was the right match for my primo. When I had tasted both the primo and the wine, I knew he was right. The elaborate primo consisted of spaghetti di Gragnano with a botarga cream, almonds, fresh anchovy fillets, and thin strips of citron, which is one of the best gifts the citrus family has to offer. Already very mellow, I looked forward to my secondo, a rack of lamb cooked to perfection with new potatoes and cherries. There were children at neighboring tables, so I stifled the cries of delight I might otherwise have made. The wine waiter had brought me a glass of Castello Solicchiata d'Etna. One of the first Bordeaux mixes to be made in Sicily, it won Decanter's Best in Show prize at the 2012 World Wine Awards. I could see why. I shared my enthusiasm with the sommelier about both the wine and the rack of lamb. I also requested a bit of a break before dessert. My order had been placed, but I wanted to have a wander through the beautiful garden in the inner courtyard first. Larger groups can enjoy their dinners in the giardino if they're lucky enough to secure a table. After relaxing outside for a few minutes, I thought it was probably time to go back inside for my dolce. After some indecision between two dessert choices, it was the wine waiter who pushed me in the right direction and convinced me to order what was entitled Il Giardino di Al Fresco, the inspiration for the creation of which had supposedly come from an itinerary through their garden. Visually, it certainly lived up to its billing. I sat and looked at it until the gelato was about to melt. Let me guide you through the itinerary. On the far left and right, there's mousse, flavored with wild fennel greens, with different toppings. The second white sphere from the left is a meringue flavored with green tea powder. Next to it on the right is a scoop of lavender gelato. Elsewhere on the plate are pearls of tapioca with cherry, bits of lemon and rosemary gelatin, dots of a lemon balm-infused liquid, edible blossoms, and underneath everything in the middle, stretching across the equator of the plate, terra e cioccolato, a chocolate-dusted ground. The courtyard garden was nice, but this was heavenly and edible. After I had completed my ingestion of the dessert garden, I was brought a passito from the island of Giglio. The right way to round off a perfect evening. Al fresco will certainly be on my itinerary in Milan in the future.